Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of making my first violin without professional training, because I'm a lunatic apparently. So here we go. I start by scratching the outline using a sharpened awl. This lets me know where the ribs are going to intersect the plates. Then I use the washer trick to create the outline. Now going around the corners like this is not entirely accurate. You have to draw the angles of the corners and finish that by hand. The drive belt on my bandsaw gave out, but this little scroll saw that I have from Harbor Freight was a little engine that could. With the outlines determined, next I need to deal with the thickness of the plates. First I use a dial caliper to scratch a line where I want to be, and then set my marking gauge to that. The height I'm working to around the perimeter of both the top and back plates is 4.5 millimeters. The exception being that the corners need to be at a thickness of 5.5 millimeters. This is both decorative and functional. Not only does it look cool, it also helps to beef up the corners somewhat to protect them from damage. Listen to that. Taking off big chunks with a reasonably sharp tool, that's one thing. But true sharpness, that lets you take fine cuts. It's not a violin yet, but boy, does this spruce speak when it's being carved. Just listen to this. A lot of folks have asked me, why do you carve the grain sideways? Why don't you go with the grain? Well, the thing is that when you take small bites like this across the grain, it ensures that you don't have massive tear out. And also, working upwards from the edge ensures that the amount of wood that I need to keep on the edge is going to stay there. If I were to work downhill from the center, it's possible that I could chip out the edge and lose a critical amount of wood at the edge exactly where I need it. Here I'm taking extra care to define the pinch around the C-bouts. This area of the top and the back has just a very exaggerated look to it, called the pinch for good reason, kind of like someone is pinching your cheek. You'll also notice a raised flat portion in the middle of the plate. Whenever the plate is planed down to its maximum height, that is to say, the full height that the arching is going to be, you want to flatten that portion to the maximum height, and that raised portion is going to serve as the foundation of all the arching that that entire plate is going to be shaped around. Now it's time to start carving the maple plate. Notice how crunchy and bright sounding this wood is compared to the spruce. As I work, I have to constantly make sure that the archings match the templates I'm working to, both long ways and sideways. If you ever need to smooth out a large portion of wood much faster and with much better results than sandpaper ever could, get yourself some scrapers. I did end up with just a little divot here at the top of the back plate, which you can see near the button. By the time I had the edge profile carved down to it to take the purfling, it was all but gone. No worries. And on the next part, it's time to start carving the inside of these plates. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to tune in for next time.